I'm 74 years old, and I have arterial sclerosis, which is a cardiac disease. It's the coronary arteries are blocked, are partially blocked. I am at high risk of a heart attack. So I need to minimize stress on me, however I can do that. Okay. That being said, I can tell you in my own words, but I would like to do is read to you the email that I composed and sent to the immediate supervisor, whose name I was given. And that will really wrap it up very succinctly, more succinctly than if I just rambled on, because I wrote this when it was fresh and it's been well edited and stuff. So I'd like to start there if I could. Now you have a little bit of background. Oh, the other background is that I live in Portland, Oregon. It's a big city. Okay. I moved here about 3.5 years ago to be, excuse me, closer to my children and grandson. I do not know this area. Okay. I'm not that familiar with the town. I'm familiar with my neighborhood, immediate north end of Portland, but I am not familiar with the entire area. So adding that into the mix, plus all the driving I'm going to mention was all city driving. This was not out in the country. This was all in the city. So comparing, stress in the city is easy anyway. You get stressed out driving anyway. And with the amount of miles I drove, plus my heart condition, you could see why this was not a good situation to be in. Responsive. A bit lengthy, but I'll get going here. This is the supervisor of uBreakiFix, named Aaron Boyes, Boyes. And this is in response to the service I received from his company. So, Aaron, this past Tuesday, which was New Year's Eve, at just after 10 a.m., I arrived at your location on Hayden Island, this is in North Portland, to have the screen on my Pixel 7 Pro repaired. The gentleman in Tigard was very professional and gave me almost excellent customer service. You may be wondering how my phone and I started out in Hayden Island. I live up in St. John's, which is very close to that, but I ended up in Tigard, which is quite a ways from my house. Here's how it happened. Your very unfriendly clerk at the Hayden Island store seemed very perturbed when I walked through the door. I told him my name and that I had gone on your site the night before and indicated that I would show up in the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. time slot. He was unimpressed, but he confirmed it. I showed him the damaged screen and he said he had none in stock. I asked him to check. He did. There's still nothing. When prompted, he divulged that Vancouver had the right part. So he told me Vancouver, which across the river, had the part, and then that was it. He didn't say anything more. And he basically acted as if the transaction was over. I asked him if he would call the Vancouver store to verify that they did indeed have that part before he jumped in the car. He begrudgingly did. He went behind a screen of some type into the back room, and I heard some voices and stuff, and he came out, and he says, yeah, they've got the part. I said, okay, fine. Well, again, he acted like the transition was over. I said, well, how do I get there? I said, I don't know. I barely know where I'm at. How do I get there? He wasn't crazy about the idea, but he ran off some directions on a receipt tape and handed me my receipt tape. Okay, so anyway, I left the store with my phone in one hand and receipt tape in the other. I arrived at the Vancouver store, which is 10 miles away. I arrived there a half hour later. The clerk was attentive and had a good attitude. Nice kid. My screen's part, however, was out of stock. He knew the stock status of the screen up top of his head because he had sold the last one the Thursday before. He knew he was out of stock and had not received new ones. I asked him if he had just talked to the clerk on Hayden Island, and he says, no, I hadn't heard from the guy. So I asked for his manager's name. I said, "What's your manager's name?" That was when I was giving your name. If I'm talking one person, first person, Aaron Boyce. Okay, so I asked for his name. He gave me your name, Aaron, and he also gave me your contact email. The clerk and I talked about where I could find the part, and he was extremely helpful. Came up with two alternatives, neither of which I knew where the heck they were. One was Selwood and one was Tigard. I had never been to either town. And so the clerk, I did end up going to Tigard, it was a little closer. And so the clerk printed out a full page directions from Google Maps. It was wonderful. And I was on my way. Well, it turns out that Tigard is 25 miles and 45 minutes away from Vancouver, Washington. Livid would be a good word on how I felt when I walked through the door in Tigard. But I stayed cool. It was a bit busy, but I was taken care of in as timely a manner as possible. Very nice folks in Tigard. By that time, Aaron, I believe that you had talked to both Vancouver and Tigard stores. The gentleman who helped me in Tigard was professional, courteous, and did all he could do to relieve my anxiety, fix my phone, plus provide almost excellent service. He even went so far as to move me to the front of the queue, which was really cool. He's a very nice man. I was back in business an hour, as he promised, and was on my way with what looked like a really brand new phone. He did a nice job. You'll notice that earlier I qualified the word excellent, or the term excellent customer service, with almost. And here's why. The bill came to $290. When asked if it would be card or cash, I replied, "That'll be on the house today, or Aaron can pay it. I don't pay to be lied to." I assured the clerk that my ire was not directed at him. He understood. He got the scene. He said Google had his hands tied. He was not able to do anything. And so I swiped. I paid it. I called my bank to see if I could stop payment. I couldn't, so it went through. Anyway, after that, I was in Tigard. I arrived home. Now, home is 16 miles and another 45 minutes away. And by that time, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, you may recall that was New Year's Eve. And I had plans. I had plans that I had to do prep for at home in order to go out and be at an early party by 5. So I get home several hours later. I've got lots of prep work to do. I've already been through 60 miles of stressful city driving, plus being livid with these people. And now I arrive home. My partner, Deborah, has had this burden laid upon her, and she's not frantic, but concerned about getting there on time. So all because of your person on Hayden Island, I had a very, very stressful day. Yeah, originally I had figured that I would make this early reservation, 10 to 11 o'clock. They're only 3.5 miles away from me, the Hayden Island. It's 3.5 miles, 10 minutes away. I figured piece of cake, I'll be home by noon. I wasn't. I didn't get home till 2, and you can figure the rest out. At that point, I thanked Aaron for taking the time, and he said, "What can I?" He said, "Well, what can I do to make you a happy camper?" And I said, "It's easy." I said, "It's easy. Cut me a check for $290." And I said, "Don't consider it a refund. Consider it the cost of doing business when your employee lies to a customer and leads me on a wild goose chase all over a major metropolitan area." So that was my letter to him. And his response was dismissive and, to me, unacceptable. And so that's the first part. So he says, "Dear Richard, thank you for taking the time. We sincerely apologize for the frustration and inconvenience you encountered during your recent visits to our store. Your feedback is invaluable and has been shared with our team to ensure we improve both our communication and the overall customer experience moving forward. We appreciate your patience and are glad the Tigard team was able to assist you effectively in resolving your phone issue. While we cannot issue a refund or reimbursement in this case, please know that we take your concerns seriously and will use this as an opportunity to review and refine our processes to prevent similar situations in the future. Is there anything else I can do to assist you? Please reach out. So that's basically corporate gobbledygook for drop dead. I'm no fool. I know how to translate corporatese, and that's basically telling me to drop dead. So I wrote back to Aaron. I said, thanks for getting back to me so promptly, which he did. I said, what is your manager's email? Who's your boss? And I received no response. I have gone to the uBreakiFix site, and this will be my next little piece of evidence, if you will. I went to their site, and I did contact them with a complaint, basically. And it is a very, very short synopsis of my interactions with their clerks and with Aaron. And so this is what I sent to their website several times. One time was general. The other 3 times I had made it to attention of people in their executive. So here's, this is on their site. This was the official one I sent that are on their site. Your Hayden Island store is 3.3 miles and 10 minutes away from my house. On New Year's Eve, I went to that store to have the screen on my Pixel 7 Pro repaired. The tech said it was out of stock, but that Vancouver, Washington store had one. He lied. Over 2 hours and 60 miles later, I had a repaired screen. The repair made me very happy. The time and distance it took because of your agent's lie made me livid. Your local supervisor, Aaron Boyce's reply to my complaint was dismissive and unacceptable. This did not improve my feelings toward your company. To say I am a dissatisfied customer is an understatement. There is much more detail to this episode than there's room here to elaborate. Please contact me to hear the whole customer service disaster. I gave my name and phone number. I have not been contacted. And this went to their corporate headquarters 4 times. So that's where I'm at. Well, I would really appreciate a response of any type. I think this is horrible, horrible customer service. Oh, here's a little bit more background. I've been in retail and customer service all my life. I've received 3 customer service awards from Costco Wholesale. I know what good customer service looks like. I know what great customer service looks like. And this was not either of those 2 things. And so I know wherever I speak, this was completely unacceptable. And now the response from their management and executive is also equally unacceptable and very dismissive. And this shows us the top-down corporate culture. And that's not good. It's really not good. So number one, I'd like an apology from, whoever. I'd like the fellow at Hayden Island fired on the spot if he's not gone already. And I'd like reimbursement. And for the time it's taken me and for the bill, it's taken me $290 to get my phone back, which was fine. I'm happy to pay it. Okay. But you also took 2 hours of my time, put me under enormous amounts of stress. And I've got a bad heart. So I don't know, somewhere between 1,000 and 1 million, pick a number. But this, you decide, but I need to hear from you folks. And I'd love a check for $290, please.